So, two of my
Hello.
favorite people from across the pond, as we say, are joining me today for the Post Status Happiness Hour Live. I know, I think that person's hiding behind your Page Builder Summit.
Yeah, just there. Some fella there. Yeah, come on.
And Dan Maby and Nathan Wrigley are joining me today because we're going to talk about the Page Builder Summit, which we never talk about on This Week in WordPress.
No.
On Mondays.
There has been no attempt to hijack that show at all.
Never. And we never put .com at the end of it either. So.
No. We've tried quite hard to smuggle that in. Well, smuggle's the wrong word. Smuggle implies disguise, doesn't it? This is just
it's just
a
blatant.
very blunt instrument. Yeah.
It's just blatant at this point. But welcome to my show. I'm always on your show, Nathan, which I think of as our show, even though it's really yours.
No, it's good. I like that.
But welcome to my show with Post Status. This is a live stream that we very much, Nathan understands. We have few people watching live usually, and then we get a lot more people who look at it afterwards because that's the way of the web, right? That's just the way it works.
That is.
But yeah, we're here today to talk about the Page Builder Summit, which starts when?
12th of May, Monday, 12th of May. Mm-hmm.
Which is a week from Monday.
That's the only fact I know. If you
are we done?
That's it.
So okay, so Dan, turning over to you. So tell us a little bit about yourselves first. So Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we're going to talk about the Page Builder Summit in a minute.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Dan Maby. What am I? I'm aware of many hats across the WordPress community. I've tended to be a community-focused individual. I run the WPLDN events in London with Nathan. Been doing that for 14 odd years now. I run an agency focused on WordPress development, and I get the pleasure of working with Mr. Wrigley on almost a daily basis whilst we do various projects together.
Love it. He said pleasure, so you better say something nice too, Nathan.
Okay, yeah. I work with Dan a lot, and he's lovely. How do we go from there? I'm Nathan Wrigley. I make podcasts in the WordPress space. That's basically what I do. I used to build WordPress websites. Prior to that, it was HTML and CSS and tables and all of that good fun. Then I moved over to other open source platforms like Magento and Drupal and things like that, and ended up with WordPress in about 2014. Kind of got into podcasting, and that's basically what I've been doing ever since. And then recently, Dan's been doing the WordPress WPLDN, the meetup that we run in London. He's been doing that for many, 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 many years. And the way he said it, it sounded like I had as well. I haven't. I started going about 6 months ago, and have been helping with videos and things like that, just sort of trying to wrangle it in the background. So yeah, and the Page Builder Summit is another event that we do. Only this one is online. I should say there's a missing person because there is a very important component to the whole summit, and that's Anshan LaRue, but she lives in New Zealand and she's currently taking her kids to school, and things like that have to happen, so she's not here, but she is more than half of the entire thing, I would say. Yeah,
and she's a lovely person as well.
Oh yeah.
I got to meet her face to face in Athens.
Oh, and, that's right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember.
Really enjoyed.
Was that at the place near the sea on that evening? It was kind of like a dimly lit bar by the sea. It was like the bar went straight onto the beach. Was that where you guys met?
I didn't meet her there, although I'm sure we were both there. It was a big, but Anamika Bovalet had put together with Grade a women's tea. And so I got to meet her where there was about 15 of us women around a table, a rooftop, and we were able to see the Acropolis from right there, which was very cool.
Oh, yeah. I have a memory of you both being in the same space in the same evening. So I just associated that with that. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course. So the Page Builder Summit, which I have been, I'm at a loss for words today because of brain fog, but I have been fortunate enough to speak at twice in the past.
Thank you.
Yeah, which last year was a little bit of a, hey, it's Thursday. We had somebody drop out. Do you think you could have something to read by Monday?
That was a little bit of that. Yeah, thank you. Oh, gosh. Yes. Now you're bringing back memories. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Nathan's like, if anybody can pull something off, it'll be
Yeah,
Michelle.
and you
She'll
did.
do
You
it
had
no
it
matter
all.
what.
Yeah, that was so great. Thank you. I had forgotten that. That's lovely.
I always say yes first and then figure it out afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I like that
Anyway,
strategy.
it was great. It was lovely to be invited both times and to be able to share some of what I've done with page builders and page builder adjacent. So Cadence is not technically a page builder, but it's often thought of as one, and it works with the block editor, which is what I spoke about last year.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. If you look at the plugin if you've installed it somewhere, it does say Page Builder. I think it says Page Builder Blocks or something like that. There's
Something like that,
yeah,
yeah.
some nod, and that whole thing it is a page builder now, isn't it? Really,
I mean, I think
block
of it as
editor.
one.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think so.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think
It just builds on the back end, not the front end.
the block editor as a whole, it's all getting very blurred, isn't it, in terms of a page builder?
It really is. I mean, some people are still calling it Gutenberg, but it really is a block editor and how you use the blocks.
Yeah, when we began the summit, there was Gutenberg, the block editor, did exist, but it was really kind of new. I can't honestly tell you how many years old the summit is, but I'm going to go for about 6, 5 or 6, something like that. And so the block editor usage was really small, and so Page Builder really did encapsulate things like Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, those kind of things. But now that it's definitely moved, and it kind of feels almost like the word Page Builder Summit doesn't fit. Maybe I don't know, Web Builder Summit or something like that might have been a better punt, given if we.
But we all know what Page Builder means, so I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
It
But
works for sure.
what I'm trying to say is there is Gutenberg stuff in there that there has been for many years, and so it's not just about those page builders.
Right. But it really is how you assemble your pages and your posts on your site, which makes perfect sense. Absolutely. So you said it's been around for a few years. 6 years, 7 years, pre-pandemic, correct?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's a story there. So the idea came about pre-pandemic, and then during the preparation phase for the first one, the pandemic began, and if you were to run, this is going to sound horrible, but I'm going to say it. If you were to orchestrate a good time to put on an online summit, that was it, because suddenly everybody was forced, through no fault of their own, forced indoors, and those summits became, do you remember, they were like a real lifeline. The online events and Zoom calls, and they suddenly took on an importance which they never had before. So by good fortune, followed on the wake of very bad fortune.
It was a silver lining.
Yeah, there was perfect timing. So the first one dropped, I think, 2020, and we've done it more or less each year. A couple of times we've done it twice in a year, but mostly it's once a year.
Good. Dan, you and I know all about creating events during the pandemic.
We do, yes. Yes. WordPress Live was no small undertaking, was it? A 24-hour event.
Which I'm now working on the WP Accessibility Day for the second year, which is also a 24-hour live event. So I'm not as integral to the actual day of, so I actually sleep now, which is a nice thing.
Well, it's partly why. So Page Builder Summit, a lot of the sessions are pre-recorded, and it comes sort of back to what we were dealing with them within WordPress Live, and this idea of doing a 24-hour event, about making the event accessible to all on a global scale, because we're dealing with a global community. And of course, the Page Builder Summit has the same challenge, and we need to find a way to make an event from an organizer's perspective sustainable, because of course a 24-hour event is a huge undertaking, as we know. So all sessions are published and made live at the start of the event, and can be consumed at any point throughout the day. So you're not fixed to a hard schedule.
Right. Although you do have your speakers come in after their time and do Q&A throughout their talk and a little bit afterwards, or has that changed this year?
Yeah, we're going to try that differently this year. So Anshan has become like a summit person in the WordPress space. So she whereas most people in the WordPress space probably build websites, Anshan is more focused on building websites for summits. That's a big part of what she does, and so she follows the trends of what is happening in the sort of summit space, and much of it completely disconnected from WordPress. That it'll be built on a WordPress website, but the subject matter is anything really. There's a whole range of things. And one of the things that has happened in the industry is that the chat aspect has sort of gone, and what we're going to focus on this time is we're going to put all the presentations that are happening in one day live at the exact same moment on that day. So let's say like midday, for want of a better argument, on the Monday. All the Monday ones will go live at midday, but there will be a dedicated space in our Facebook group to talk about that thing. Yeah, and the thinking behind that is that the presenter is not really bound to this 1 hour, because in the past the presenter would show up, they would do their hour, and then we would bid them adieu. And so there was a sort of disconnect there, because that chat would sort of collapse, and nobody would kind of return to it. Whereas now, because the Facebook group post is just going to stay open throughout the whole summit, the presenter can drop in, several days later if need be, if somebody's made a comment. So hopefully it will.
And you can tag people so that they'll get notifications.
You can do all of you can do all of that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of an experiment for us.
I like it.
But Anshan has done it many times before, and she said this is the way that it's all going. So it's a curious change. Yeah,
fantastic. Well, I'm gonna and I see James Lau has joined us. Hello, James.
Hi, James, and hi, Mark. And hi, Adam.
And hi, Mike. And Adam and Mark Andrews. So we've got lots of people watching. I'm going to go ahead and bring your screen up and let you talk us through. I don't know. Is your schedule live yet? Do we know what the topics are? Is that something that's still under wraps?
Yeah. So we don't have the schedule in terms of the days specifically that people are on, but I can show you. I can show you who is involved and what their presentation titles are.
Yeah, I want you to walk us through that.
So first thing though, here's the date. It's the 12th to the 16th of May, 2025. If you show up, you'll be able to access that. But honestly, the best way to participate is if you just give us your name, email address. We'll then send you a bunch of links at the beginning of each day so that you can click through and you don't have to, navigate anything. And also it'll give you an opportunity. We have an upsell. We have this thing which we call the Power Pack, where you can purchase it so that none of the content goes away. The speakers have chucked in a bunch of bonuses as well. I think if you add them all up, they come to several thousands of dollars. Nice. And so if you give us your email address and name into that box, then we'll be able to communicate with you. And it just makes the whole experience a whole lot more straightforward, basically. Okay, so scrolling down. Here we go. So here are the speakers that are involved. I mean, really, I could just list them all off, but that's probably not the best use of time. But maybe some of these names are familiar to you.
Sure.
We've got several of these, actually, quite a few of these people are coming back for the second, third, and in some cases, fourth time. So Shannon's a familiar face, so's Josh, so's Chantel. Robert Abella is joining us from MelaPress, which is a WordPress security company. There's a few new faces. I don't know Rachel particularly well, but we've got Jamie Marsland, who's obviously the YouTube.
Who's that? Just kidding.
Yeah, the YouTuber extraordinaire. Ben Intal's joining us from Stackable, which is a series of it's like a suite of block plugins that you can have. We've got Ari, we've got Jessica, Amelia, Tammy Lister, who's often on the show. I'm no doubt you've been on with her, Michelle, many times.
I have.
Yeah, Rightis, Sam, and the list goes on. Look, here we go. And it just
Lindsay Halsey
on going. There's Luke, who I sat next to or opposite with Dan. Dan was there in Cloudfest not that long ago.
Oh, nice. Well. Maciek is there. Maestro.
Yeah, Maciek is there. Peach is there. Nicole Osborne, PK Son, Akchat from
Alicia, Cami.
Vault. Yeah, Alicia, Cami. David Walmsley, who's my very good friend.
Can we convince him to do a better headshot, perhaps?
No, that's the way he rolls. So there you go. It's 35 speakers, and a few sprinkled throughout the days. But in order to keep it a little bit more entertaining, we do prizes, we do bingo, which is hysterical. Basically, if you show up and enter the bingo, you're pretty much guaranteed to win.
To win something, right?
So just come and enter the bingo because you'll get a prize.
Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner, yeah. And so we make ourselves present. We're going to be there during the week. We're going to do a few networking sessions where it'll be like a pile-in Zoom call, but there'll be a subject that we're going to get into. And we'll also do live presentations. Some of the sponsored presentations are being done live. and
Nice.
Pete and Anshin and I will be going live each morning just to sort of orientate people to that day. I've talked far too much. I just have this habit. Just
let me tell you, I did an online summit. I attended an online summit not too long ago, and it was one of those ones where you spin the wheel for the different sponsors. And I spun the wheel at one sponsor. It was like, oh, sorry, you didn't win anything. But I still got an email that said, congratulations, you've won nothing.
Oh, that's great. That is
Which
great.
made me laugh. I actually screenshot it and sent it to somebody because I was like, I wasn't offended. I didn't need anything, but it just tickled me that it was like, oh, we didn't think of that perhaps when we built the whole thing. So that was funny.
You're mentioning sponsors, and I know, Michelle,
Yes.
that you know the value of what I'm about to
I
say,
do.
and I am going to plunder this moment if you don't mind.
It's okay. Please do.
We have a whole bunch of sponsors.
Wait, how do I mute him? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Shut that man up. But our top tier sponsors, we call them our partner sponsors, and we've got 4 thus far. We've got GoDaddy, Adam, I see.
Adam's in the audience,
so
yes.
that's fabulous. We've got Kinsta, we've got Melapress. I was just talking about Robert Abella. And we've
Abella,
got
yeah.
Blackwall, which you might have known in the past as BotGuard, but they've rebranded as Blackwall.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are 4 sponsors, and we've got 1 partner sponsor left for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. Somebody wants to jump on that? It literally is ending. Happy to. Oh, there he is. That's so.
No, I found out how.
I'll go. Can I just?
I found out how we can not see Nathan, but I still can hear him.
Yeah. Oh.
This is exciting.
So thank you to them.
Yeah. Now, how do you select speakers? Do you canvas and ask for speakers? Do you have an open call for speakers? Like, how have you curated this amazing group of people?
Do you want to take that down, or shall
I think it's a bit of a combination of both, to be honest. We have speakers that we reach out to specifically, and equally people reach out to us, and it's a process that, to be fair, Anshin takes a huge amount of that responsibility, and is the individual that really knows how that process is completely run by in terms of the selection. But it's something that we're very conscious of, and trying to work with a broad range of speakers. Mm-hmm. And it can be quite challenging, this idea of a page builder, and it's quite sort of limiting in terms of what we're talking about there. But of course, there are so many topics adjacent to it that it enables us to have this really rich speaker list of speakers. And we've actually got 3 featured speakers this year, trying something a little bit different again with the event. So really looking forward to hearing what these speakers are going to bring to the event. But we've got Shannon Matters, Josh Hall, and Lisa Williams are our 3 featured speakers this month, this year, all for the 8.0. So this is the eighth time we've delivered this event.
That's amazing.
I can't say we, because I've only been involved in the last 2 events.
It's okay. I know how it feels on the WPLDN side. It's fine. You have a pass.
I mean, when we talk about the royal we, you all are in the UK, so
right.
I think it's more applicable to you than me with our. I think we still call him a president, but instead of our king.
We have a kind of division of labor, and Anshin and I so we ran the first 6, just the 2 of us, and I don't. It kind of happened by accident more than anything else. But Anshin ended up dealing with the speakers, and I ended up dealing with the sponsors and the video editing and those kind of things. And so Anshin has this whole process of getting the speakers. And honestly, I think if I was given that job, we wouldn't have a summit. It just wouldn't happen. She's so good, because you know what it's like. You've got 35 individuals. They've all got their lives to get on with. They miss the deadline. The email gets misremembered, and all of that. And she's so good at chasing people and getting the content out of them. And there's way more little tiny moving parts to her side of the equation than there is to ours, to be honest, because each of the speakers has got just lots and lots and lots of little dominoes to fall to get them to the event. Whereas on our side, the video editing and the sponsor outreach and what have you, it's a little bit more straightforward. So while she's not here, we'll praise Anshin a lot.
Well deserved as well.
And then over the next 2 weeks, you'll talk about how difficult it was to get sponsors.
It's so hard.
Platform and
all of that.
I mean,
I love it.
Michelle, we were going through that process with WordPress Live, and we had 65 speakers, didn't we, for that event, and that management process.
And they were probably 75% or more were live.
Yes,
which added a layer of complexity.
Huge.
For sure. And then, of course, there are people in different countries with different Wi-Fi and capabilities, and
Can I ask, right, because I normally ask the questions, I can't cope with not asking. Can I ask you two about that? Like, how stressful was that? Because I know this event has an element of stress, but it's not probably anything like that. Was it really properly stressful? 75 people trying to get the majority of them like, what was that like?
Honestly, it felt, for me personally, it had a real feeling of the same sort of feeling that you get as a WordCamp organizer, which was really strange. It was completely unexpected, because we use Discord as a bit of our sort of back room for all of the organizers to get together and to have a laugh and have a cry and all the challenges and so on, and talk about the things that were going on and what is working, what isn't working. And it just had that incredible feel. We had this sort of international team of people delivering this event, but it felt like we were all in the room together. It was very, very strange.
More than 3 of us doing it, which helped and also added to the complexity, if I'm being honest.
Right? I
awesome.
don't know how you did the live, because 75 people is not just a case of asking 75 people to show up at the right time. It's I imagine it's more like asking 75 people to show up at the right time, 15 of whom do, and then it's just a ton of email and stress. Where are they? Where have they gone?
We were running three tracks concurrently.
Oh, damn.
Wait, but not only that, we also were doing live interviews of people in between sessions.
I've worked with Dan for quite a bit now, and I now know of Dan this much. Dan sort of just says yes to everything, and then you have to work out the bits and pieces afterwards. But it always comes together, which is nice.
I'm the female Dan. I always say yes to things also.
Honestly, it was so much joy working with you, Michelle, across that, and bringing that to the community, because there was so much work.
Was. We should do it again.
Oh, Dan.
We should make it. We need an in-person component as well, a physical component to that WordPress concept.
For sure.
I'm just not sure how we.
Look, Adam said, Michelle, I'm clicking on it, trying to make it come on the screen. Of course I can't. Adam says,
I have the power this time, Nathan.
I know, it's infuriating.
Wait, I can also do this. Wait, watch.
Oh, the control.
I think that's great. Lovely. Adam's already said yes for you.
The only thing that would have made today funnier is if I had dressed as you yet again.
I'm actually crying a bit now. This is great. I'm loving this.
This is what a wonderful way to end the day. I'm serious.
More events, says Steve.
Let's do it.
Keep Nathan away from the bottom.
More events. Wait, I don't think this is going to make you disappear. No, look, you're still there.
Oh, yeah. Look, there I am.
we haven't said pagebuildersummit.com.
No,
even once yet.
That's what we're here for. Pagebuildersummit.com. Go there and check out the event. Right, back to WordPress Live. Talk more about that.
My goodness. But yes, there is definitely a challenge no matter how you put on an event, whether it's in person, whether it's recorded, whether it's live. Although I will say live is a little more strenuous, perhaps. But
I suppose the one thing about the live bit is that at least it's all leading up to that moment. Whereas I think we kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but we kind of front load the stress. So we spread it out, but it's all before the event. Like, that hasn't been submitted. That hasn't been submitted. Making sure the jigsaw is complete before the event has its own different stresses. You just piled all the stress in like 24 hours, which is kind of different.
Trust me, there was a lot of stress in advance of it as well.
That's right.
I don't not to walk down memory lane too much, but I think one of my favorite of the 3 that we did was when we interviewed Mike Little live, and then a few hours later we interviewed Matt Mullenweg live as well. And I felt like that was the feather. I mean, I should have just retired after that night.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think there's such an interest that challenge of live and recorded for the speaker though is such a challenge. If we're the going recorded, it's this idea of perfection and oh, I made that mistake, or I need to adjust it, I need to redo it. And that's so hard. How do we get over that and not go down that sort of perfectionist route as a speaker?
Yeah. Well, if you know me, you know that I don't like to edit. So like if you're on one of my podcasts, I don't edit anything, right? I mean, I just don't. I don't like doing that. It's a lot more work that I want to do. And I'm not lazy by any stretch of the imagination, but that is just not my bailiwick. And so when I once recorded a talk for a nonprofit summit, I wanted to do it in one take. I was successful, but about 3/4 of the way through, I had a huge sneeze. Like I was talking all of a sudden like, "Achoo!" And I kept going because I thought if I was on stage, I wouldn't go, "Sorry, I sneezed, we have to start again," right? So I just left it in there, like, feet of clay, warts and all, whatever euphemism you want to use for that. But
have you never, Michelle, had a total disaster with like a complete fail on the tech with a podcast guest or something like that, where you've been forced to edit because I don't know, they just dropped out for 10 minutes or something like that?
So I was forced to edit once when I had somebody on the podcast, and in the middle of it, this is an adult person, but her mother lived next door and was watching her kids and couldn't find her keys. So literally in the middle of it, the door opens, she walks in and says, "I can't find my keys."
Yeah, that's got to go.
And I had to edit that out. And then there was another one that was recorded where somebody said something inappropriate. And I don't care if somebody lets a swear word fly or something, but somebody said something inappropriate that could be incredibly misinterpreted. And I chose to edit that out as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite. For some parts, I edit far too much. I just go absolute. I love it. I absolutely love it. I use the script, and it's just a joy.
That is also, though, why one of my friends refers to your voice as audio Valium, because you edit it to the point where you're just so mellifluous and your voice just flows and you just go,
yeah, I put people to sleep is what you're saying, isn't it? That's basically it.
Didn't say that.
The barbiturate man, yeah.
But it was specifically when you were doing the Press Forward podcast for Big Orange Heart that it was so you were such calming voice, and one of my office mates at the time said, "Oh my gosh, I could listen to him and fall asleep at night. I wouldn't need the melatonin."
Yeah, you see, this is that's what I'm going to have that on my gravestone. I could listen to him whilst falling to sleep.
I'm going to take that off so that I can put some more things up that won't just cover your face, Nathan. So you all know Mark Westgard is one of my best friends. We had known each other.
That is a cracking picture of you, by the
way.
Quite
a few years. I had him on the WP Coffee Talk podcast, and he forgot my name when he went to say hello.
That's good.
We did stop that and start over, but that was much easier than the time that we finished recording with him the first time, and I accidentally deleted it beyond like being able to get it back, and we had to do it twice. So there you go. We all make mistakes, but so Steve Mosby, hi Steve, says it makes it more human if it has something like a sneeze. Life shouldn't be edited. I agree. Let's see. James Lau says he wants a David Attenborough reading from you. And Adam says, I once got emotional during a speaking session in person and had that OMG, I just blew mucus bubbles.
Oh,
Adam, I love you. Not my greatest moment, but the audience was supportive. Absolutely. Oh boy, what does this say?
Can I just get you to share my screen again very quickly? Because I've got a lovely picture of Mark Westgard. Just
I do like that one.
That's right. There he is.
I'm forbidden for sharing the pictures of Mark that he sometimes sends to me of him looking absolutely silly.
Yep.
So I can't.
I've got several of him.
But I'll text them to you later.
He's having a giggle. There he is. Nice.
Let's see. We have some questions from Mark Andrew. He says, was the nonprofit talk when you were doing Give WP? Yes, it was. I was there representing Give WP for that. And are there any updates on Big Orange Heart? Appreciates us both. We are the best people, he says. I don't have any
Thank
updates
you.
on it
No.
at this point in time. Yeah.
No, I've had to for my own mental health, had to take a bit of a step back at the moment. So
Same,
yes, unfortunately
same,
not at the moment.
yeah. We're never saying never again. We're just saying
No,
not right now.
that's right.
So and Mark, when you showed his picture, had a nice little laugh at that as well.
Nice.
So oh, I think we're here to talk about the Page Builder Summit, though.
Well, I just think we need to mention pagebuildersummit.com, don't we?
Yeah,
.com,
we
yes,
haven't
sorry, I
mentioned the
left off the
pagebuildersummit.com for a while. If you go to that URL, you find that there's an online summit called the Page Builder Summit. And it's
Yes.
running between the dates of the 12th of May to the 16th of May. 35 speakers. It's completely free. Join us.
I can't bring it back up on the screen because your screen right now is showing WP builds.
There you go. There it is.
Which is fine.
No, it's there. You can bring it back up.
A nice comment from Mark Andrew again saying it makes sense. Glad to hear you're taking care of you, Dan. Yes, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Oh, there it is. pagebuildersummit.com.
Yeah, if you've got any questions about it, honestly, it's the most straightforward enterprise from if you're thinking of attending, it really genuinely is really straightforward. You sign up and you just go and watch what you like when you like. So as we're pre-recording everything, there is not this pressure to watch it. There's 48 hours, basically. That's the limit we've set on it. So things that come out on the Monday will be available Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll put them behind our power pack, we call it, this upsell. That'll begin for them on Wednesday.
The rest of the world calls it a paywall, but yes.
Yeah, we'll call it a power pack because it sounds, it's all,
well, there's more to it then.
There really is. There's a whole boatload of features and bits and pieces that the speakers and some of the sponsors have thrown in as well. And
so it is free access for those 48 hours.
That's right.
What does the power pack cost? What do we do? How do we get that? And what does that cost?
So the power pack, depending on when you buy it, we have different pricing. So the later you leave it, the more expensive it becomes. But basically, $97 is the sort of like the ticket price. But there is an option if you sign into that form and you keep an eye on your email. And you click on the email, you do have a small window to grab it for basically half that price. And I think people kind of know that now about it because that tends to be where it's at. People grab it during that 20-minute, 30-minute period. I don't exactly know what it is.
And does the bingo cards, are those sent out via email as well? How does somebody find out how to play bingo?
So if you go to Page Builder, I'm not going to do it because I don't know that the page has been configured. But when the summit begins, you just go to pagebuildersummit.com/bingo. And it literally, I mean, it's so like cottage industry. I love it. You download it and basically print it off or something like that. And then you just scribble on it. So there's a whole bunch, you know how bingo works. You got to fill up lines or get a full house, get a diagonal or what have you. And each of the little squares is something that you could achieve during the summit. Like, I don't know, I went to a live session, I asked a question, I did this particular thing, whatever. And,
so you're honor bound. You have to
that's
be...
right. I mean, honestly,
look, we're 1 hour in and I filled the entire card. No.
I mean, who would know? But and then you basically take a photo of it and present it into the Facebook group, and it's absolutely lovely because you do get people doing all sorts of different ways. You know, some very professionally have somehow downloaded some sort of, I don't know, some sort of perfect X and they've aligned them all perfectly, and other people have just scribbled on it with their crayon or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
it's lovely. Yeah,
that's fun. That does make it fun.
And so those prizes will come out each day. I can't remember what the prizes are, but typically we do things like Amazon vouchers and books and things that the speakers have given to us. It all gets bundled up, and usually there's 2 prizes given away each day, and it's a nice moment. We announce them in our live call. Oh, knife, says Daveton. Bingo. Yes, Daveton. Yeah. Join us.
And I heard bingo.
Oh, it's bingo's live. Look, they know more than I do.
They're in the background checking it out for you, making sure that you're not going to look silly if you don't bring it up.
Let's have a look. I'm going to check it out myself. This is one of those jobs that Anshan is. There it is, how it works. Yeah, download your bingo card. I'm not sure if you download this one, whether it's the... Oh, no, there it is. Okay, do it. Yeah, go to pagebuildersummit.com/bingo. It's there for you. So here's the things you've got to do. I'll read them out. Share the biggest takeaway from a presentation. Ask a question on a speaker's thread. Grab your free ticket to the Page Builder Summit by registering. Join the Facebook group, complete your worksheet for presentations, attend the kickoff call live, and so it goes. Those kind of things. Yeah,
I love it. And it's gonna cover your face again, but I love Adam says, "Join us, one of us, one of us." One of us.
Yeah,
Brilliant. I love
it.
it.
I was hoping to give him ears there.
Oh wait, okay,
Yeah, pretty much.
okay, there you go.
Is that what? Oh, it's so difficult to do it.
It's close. It's close. I love it. I should have sent you some hands, like my hands I have for your show. I
could have brought some oven gloves or something like that, but I didn't know that I was going to be hidden behind
Mickey Mouse ears or something.
Adam Warner's face. So there you go. I think you probably know all that there is to know apart from the URL. I don't think we've mentioned that yet. pagebuildersummit.com. Go there.
Is it that one?
Yep.
We should mention pagebuildersummit.com/sponsors as well.
Oh yes, I don't have a bar for that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We have 3 sponsor tiers. We've got a partner sponsor, which is the ones that you can. I can. Hold on, I can do it if you want.
He's so not used to being a guest.
We've got a micro sponsorship from just $300.
Yeah, we do.
Right up until the event.
Yeah, so this is our sponsors page, and we have a partner sponsor. So the ones that I showed you earlier, the Kinster, the MailerPress, the GoDaddy, and the Blackwall. I keep wanting
what is the new name of it?
I want to say Botguard all the time. Yeah. There are current partner sponsors, but there is one remaining. But I'm not kidding you. It is going away in, what is that, 2 hours and 25 minutes? So, but we've got patron sponsors and we've got micro sponsors. The micro sponsor is always really popular because it's, $300 and you get associated with an event the likes of which we've got. It's great.
This is the best comment. You're always the host, even when you're a guest.
I can't help it.
That's right.
I can't. Shall I just go now? I'll just go and stand behind the sign.
To be fair, I do that to you all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, it's nice, isn't it, when people talk on your show? The patron one is, as you can see, $1,000, and you can see what's available with the little pricing table. Yeah,
I love that. Do you have a list of all the sponsors, not just the top 4, so we can thank them all?
Yeah. So here we go.
Okay.
So there's our partner sponsors. You can see them: GoDaddy, Kinster, MailerPress, Blackwall. The patron is Big Scoots. We've got some featured speakers as well who kind of slot into the sponsor thing. We've got Web Designer Pro, Your Moxie Maven, and Web Designer Academy. And then our micro sponsors is Zane Attain, Dynamic.000, AB Split Test, BS Free Business, WP Mavens. It's kind of hard to see from that logo, but that one's WP Mavens. Croco Block. There's this, I don't know who's responsible for this one. Some form solution or other. WS Form, let's be fair. And CheckView. And then we had one land about 2 minutes before we joined the call, so I hadn't had a chance to check that one out. Nice. So there'll be another one joining that in the next moment or two.
Very nice. Well, I hate to keep covering your face, but I love this. Nathan is going to ask everyone to wave at the end.
Yeah, I am.
To be fair, we don't even have to wave. You just have to put your hands up.
Raise your hand. Yeah, I'm doing it.
It's a still photo.
Yeah. I'm going to shush now.
Awesome. If I did that on your well,
you can't.
To be fair, I have to talk over you on your own show too, so it's all good. Oh, I love it. I love it all. Let's see. We've got some more comments. Some new names to explore there. Make sure to hit the sponsor links, folks. They're putting their resources and dollars towards a great event. Absolutely. Couldn't have said that nicer myself, Adam, so thank you for saying it.
I'm, again, sorry, at the risk of talking too much, but
there's no such thing when you're a guest on a podcast.
Thank you. Okay, great. I kind of didn't really understand that until I got into doing events and making a podcast and things. I kind of had this, when the television commercials come on the telly and you kind of turn the volume down or you walk away or something. And then, those kind of things. And then you do an event and you fully realize, wait, this is the actual glue that binds it together. This is actually the bit that makes it possible. We could not do that event without the sponsors. Basically, they pay for the whole thing to happen. And exactly. And so Adam's raised it, and I appreciate that. But Adam and Mark, who are in the call, who have both sponsored, Adam GoDaddy, Mark WS Form, I'm genuinely serious. I'm not saying this in a glib way. I am really thankful to these people for putting it on, because it could not happen without them. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's any other questions to ask you about it. I think we've kind of covered everything. But is there anything else you'd like to say about it? And hearing nothing.
No.
I was just thinking, I've said enough.
We're still here.
I've said enough.
Well, I am so I love this. We're better together, which is always true. I love that so much. Well, I want to thank you both for being here. I know it is quite late. It's after 9 o'clock, I think, there where you are. So you're probably both ready to nod off. I know. Like, you don't want to drink caffeine this late at night because you will be up all night. But yeah, that's hard. So I will say thank you very much for being here. And also, I always have to plug next week. So next week, I will be speaking with Brad Williams from Web Dev Studios for a conversation about his Theme Switcher Pro, which I just learned about at PressConf last week. You can have more than one theme on your site at the same time. So you could have theme pages and posts individually with this plugin that they've created. So we're going to see a demo of that next week. Looks pretty awesome. You'll never see it in the repo because it has so much behind it that it is a premium plugin and well worth it, I would say. Very, very cool. So we're make sure you come back next week and take a look at that while I talk to Brad. And again, in case you missed it, today's everything was about pagebuildersummit.com. Well, we talked about a lot of things, but specifically we're here for pagebuildersummit.com, which starts a week from Monday on May 12th and runs that week. So thank you so much for taking some time out and spending some time with me today. Let's see. We have this was great. Thank you, Dan and Michelle, Dan, and Nathan. Be well. I can't even read. And then we have thanks to you all for organizing, speakers and sponsors, volunteers, pulling our community together. And thank you. Looking forward to the Page Builder Summit. See, PBS here in the United States means something else. It's the public broadcasting system. So it took me a second to figure out what Mark was talking about.
Oh, I see.
And James says thank you. So thank you very much for being my guest today and talking about Page Builder Summit. I have already got my ticket. I will be there, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So
Me too. Yeah, thank you. Seriously, thank you, Michelle, for giving us the opportunity to talk.
All right, you guys hang on for just a second. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. Thanks for being here.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.